how to make him fall in love with you. In this video, we're going to be talking about the two kinds of love and also how to make him fall in love with you, because I feel like that's, the title of the question, and we're going to get into it. So there are two kinds of love. The first love is need love, and the second love is flowing love. And when I mean love, you can scale it down just to be attraction, just affection, things like that, all the way to full-blown love. But generally speaking, even moment to moment, even hour to hour, even day to day, even month to month in a relationship, you often find that people shift from need love to flowing love constantly. So need love is this idea that sometimes we fall in love with someone because of how they make us feel, not necessarily the person, because maybe we needed that feeling. Maybe we needed to feel a certain way. Maybe if we weren't confident, we fell in love with someone because they were confident and they fulfill that need for us. It's like often you read a lot of poetry and a lot of things online where it's like you need someone to complete us. Like that is need love. And it's this thing that is not to be judged because it is what it is, right? Like I have never met someone and I've interrogated them and found out what they were attracted to in that other person that didn't say something that was either a direct reflection of who they are, like currently, or a direct reflection of who they want to be. And with these things, it's like that is the need love. That is what we generally fall in love with people for, because maybe they're a reflection of who we are right now, or maybe say for example, if we want to be more social and that person's more social, or we want to feel pretty and that person is pretty, then it gives our mind a subconscious, a way to explore these emotions. Now, flowing love, on the other hand, is where you fall in love with who that person is as an individual entity to you. So their quirks, their likes, their loves, their things like that. But it's beyond just how they make you feel. Now, this is why a lot of relationships die after the honeymoon phase. Because after the honeymoon phase, it's kind of like, oh, the excitement's worn off and you kind of realize that it was only necessarily about the feelings and not necessarily about who they were as a person, so it becomes harder to be around them. Simple as that. But if you want to make someone fall in love with you, it's about understanding these two dynamics and also realizing that when it comes to need love, it's like people need certain things in their life, right? They need to feel certain things. And unless you're giving that to someone, unless you're giving that to them, then they're not necessarily going to want to spend more time with you, or they're not going to feel that affection. And this is why I think it's really important to understand these things, because it will help us understand our own body and our own mind and help us drive the car of our mind a bit better and drive the car of our heart a bit better. But here's the thing. When it comes to need love, it comes down to values. What do you value? What do they value? Because if you're someone who values fitness and they don't value that, or they don't want to value that, remember, it's like who they are or who they want to be, right? Then there's going to be very little chance for connection and very little chance for future development. And it's really interesting to see that I often see this all the time, that people end up in relationships with people who are very similar to them or who are extremely different. There is often no middle ground. It's like, we're kind of the same. It's like those are the average couples. Those are the couples that don't necessarily go anywhere. And so this is what you need to understand. And most of the time, if we're going to summarize this in one sentence, is that if he's fallen in love with you, it's probably because there's a reason. I'm not trying to devalue it or anything like that, but it's like he's there for a reason, you know what I mean? And you're kind of doing everything right and everything like that. But if he hasn't fallen in love with you, it's kind of like you're trying to sell a burger to someone who's already eaten one. They're not hungry. They don't want it. And it's like, as I always say, you can't force love. So it's just a matter of just noticing where the other person is at. And maybe, it's a myth, right? And this is a big thing, right? It's a myth that relationships, or the measure of a relationship, is that it should last a lifetime. And sometimes we forget that, is that sometimes we can be in a relationship for a week or 2 weeks or a month or a year. And then if you think that it was a waste of time because it didn't last forever, then it's kind of like you're devaluing that. And here's the thing, sometimes we get into relationships because of need love and it's for a short amount of time, and then we miss out on that because we miss out on appreciating it because we're like, oh, it didn't work out, or we judge it because we wanted something else and we didn't realize that maybe that's what we needed, And one of the biggest values for relationships is just knowing that, the other person has to value teamwork, they have to value communication, and they have to value having someone else in their life, and they have to value you, because if they don't, then you're just going to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't necessarily want to be there. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, make sure to leave a like, because if you do, then I like you. And make sure to subscribe, because if you don't, I'll cry. Look at my face. It's so sad. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.